everybody, Ace Channel Liam here. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome back to another episode of MetroMania. For those not in the know, MetroMania is an ongoing 16 Pokemon Metronome-only double battle tournament to determine the MetroMania Champion, and Season 7 has been all about the Pokemon of Galar. If you're a fan of MetroMania already, make sure you hit the like button. We'll go for 999 likes on this video, and of course, hit the subscribe button if you're new so you never miss an episode. As always, don't forget, use code ACE to save yourself some money on G Fuel. This is the hydration range, which is caffeine free. This is dragon fruit. I thought it only apped. In my lovely, I really like my Ric Flair shaker at the moment. It's really nice. Code ACE. Now this is the penultimate Heat 7. Before you get any battles today though, we are going to do what we always do. We're going to have a look at them dirty brackets. Last week, Appletun managed to overcome Cramorant. It turned the tides mid-match with a pair of brilliant Bolt Beaks and securing its place in the quarterfinals, where it will face off against Alcremie in the weeks to come. Of course, we still have one quarterfinal left to build. We've got 2 places in there. We're going to find out who takes the first place in that quarterfinal, with Duraludon taking on Dragapult today. Here we go, it's Duraludon versus Dragapult. Now, I do apologize in advance if I mix up these Pokemon's names. I know which Pokemon is Duraludon, I know which Pokemon's Dragapult, but when you're talking quickly, I can see from looking at these names that I'm probably going to end up calling one of them the wrong name at some point. But don't worry, I've got you. Don't worry, I'll try my very best. Shiny Dragapult is going to start things off for its team with a Venom Drench, which is going to fail. Now it's over to the regular Dragapult. What's it going to do here? It's going to go for Zen Headbutt, which won't be very effective. These Pokemon each have their own kind of advantages in Metromania. That was a critical hit though, did a decent chunk of chip damage at least. Here comes the regular Duraludon, who is going to go for an Electrify, and it's not going to land. It's going to fail anyway. Over to Shiny Duraludon. Does it have anything in its arsenal? It's going to go for Light Screen, protect itself against special attacks. Very, very good play there. Very, very interesting play. But these Pokemon they both have their own advantages. So Duraludon is a Steel type, has loads of resistances, which historically does very well in Metromania. The Dragapult team are Ghost type, so they're immune to normal and fighting type moves, which are common moves chosen by the Metronome. Here's a Rock type move though, Smackdown, which isn't going to be very effective on regular Duraludon there, but any damage is better than no damage. Regular Dragapult is going to fire off as well with a Psych Up. It's going to copy stat changes that... Have there been any stat changes yet? I don't believe there have been. So that was a wasted move, I'm pretty sure. Here comes regular Duraludon, though. What's it going to do here? It's going to go for String Shot, which doesn't affect the Clear Body ability of the 2 Dragapult there. They both have the Clear Body ability, as you see it there. When a move is used that lowers stats on an individual Pokemon, you'll see Clear Body activate. If there's a move that hits both Pokemon but lowers stats, you'll if there's a stat lowering move that hits both the Dragapult, you will see that Clear Body doesn't activate, just the move fails. Here we see the regular Dragapult though, who is going to go for Facade, again for not very effective damage. Normal type moves not very effective on Duraludon. The only moves that are effective on Duraludon, super effective I should say on Duraludon, are fighting and ground type moves, much like with Dialga. Light Screen is going to fail because Light Screen's already in effect. Over to Shiny Duraludon, see if it can pick up the pieces here. It's going to go for Leech Life, which won't be very effective on the Ghost type Dragapult, but is going to restore a little bit of that Duraludon's HP. So, you know, it's not a great advantage. It's not a difference maker there, but it helps Duraludon that very, very little bit, rather than a normal, not very effective move. Here we see Shiny Dragapult starting off the next turn. It's going to go for Electro Web, which is going to do a little bit of chip damage. It's not very effective on the Dragon-type Pokemon, but it is going to lower their speed each by 1 stage. So that's not great for the Duraludon team, but they're already slower than Dragapult. Dragapult's got base speed of like 142. Ain't nothing being faster than this thing for a while. We see Leaf Storm, which is 4 times resisted by the Steel and Dragon type Duraludon. So Shiny Duraludon's going to eat that up, but that is going to drop the special attack stat 2 stages on that Dragapult, and that's important. Clear Body protects you against your opponent dropping your stats. There you see, as the example there shows, but it doesn't stop Dragapult from lowering its own stats, and that's very, very important. Dragapult can still mess itself up. Mega Punch, of course, isn't going to affect Dragapult because, as we said before, it's a Ghost type. It's immune to normal type moves, so that's a wasted move by Shiny Duraludon there. Over to Shiny Dragapult to start things off for this next turn, and it's going to go for Stomping Tantrum, which is super effective on Duraludon. It's one of its weaknesses. Massive damage there to that regular Duraludon there, bringing it down into the yellow, less than half its max HP. It's close to a quarter of its max HP there. We see Clanging Scales coming out, but remember, Light Screen's in effect, And of course, the special attack stat is lowered by 2 stages of that Dragapult. Its defense is now going to go down 1 stage as well. Regular Duraludon is in the danger zone now, though. Shiny Duraludon, though, is going to go for Mega Punch once again. It's still not going to affect the opponents no matter how many times you use it. They're still ghost types. We see Fusion Flare coming out. Not a very effective move there from the regular Duraludon onto the shiny Dragapult, but it's still damage, and Duraludon needs to be damaging Dragapult if it wants to stay in this competition. Light Screen just wore off. Very unfortunate for Dragapult that they didn't get that Clanging Scales off when the Light Screen was not in effect. Here we see that Dragapult, though, that very same one that used Clanging Scales, going to go for Synthesis, but its HP is full, so that's a wasted turn. Over to its shiny counterpart. Its shiny counterpart is going to go for Sparkling Aria, which is a Water-type move that will hit everybody on the field. It will be resisted, though, by everybody on the field there. Actually, probably did more damage to its partner, but it does take down regular Duraludon there. Almost missed that. Down goes regular Duraludon. Shiny Duraludon is the only member of its team left on the field right now. It's got to up its game a little bit. Goes for Cross Poison. Not going to be very effective on the Ghost-type Shiny Dragapult, but hopefully for itself, probably hoping to get the poison. There is the poison, so it does get the poison. The hopes were granted. So there's that poison damage taking effect on Shiny Dragapult, dropping it down to less than half its max HP. So Duraludon got very, very lucky there. That was a great play with that Cross Poison. Not very effective, but if you can add some kind of debilitating move that takes place at the end of each turn, that's a great play. Regular Dragapult is going to confide in that Shiny Duraludon. That is going to lower its special attack by 1 stage, which is not great, but Duraludon probably wants to focus a little bit more on as much offense as possible. Here we see Minimize from Shiny Dragapult, going to raise its evasiveness by 2 stages, which is not good for the Duraludon because it has no way of lowering that evasiveness because of the Clear Body ability of Dragapult. And they see Leer is going to fail because the Clear Body, I don't know why it just doesn't activate Clear Body for both the Pokemon. It just fails because it's aimed at both Pokemon. Shiny Dragapult, of course, took a little bit of poison damage at the end of that turn. We're getting ready for the next turn. The regular Dragapult is going to start it off with Aurora Beam, which will be a neutral Ice-type attack there. Its special attack has been lower, though, so couldn't fire off as much damage as it perhaps would have liked. Over to its shiny counterpart to follow up, and it's going to go for Power Split, which at this stage of the game, not really sure if Power Split is really the way to go, but you do you, Shiny Dragapult. Over to Duraludon, see if it can capitalize on that kind of wasted turn for the Shiny Dragapult. Goes for Tickle. Stats can't be lowered because of Clear Body. Not good for Duraludon. It is wasting a little bit of time. There's more poison damage, though. If it can stall out that Shiny Dragapult, maybe make it a one-on-one affair. Maybe it has a chance of taking the first victory in this battle, although it's all Dragapult right now. Regular Dragapult going to go for Stored Power. Has it really stored enough? It does barely any damage. It's not really done much at all there. Stored Power, that wasn't a great play right there. Over to the shiny counterpart, though. Going to go for Aqua Ring to try and counteract that poison. That's not a bad play at all. So basically, it's going to heal itself up, and then the poison's going to take effect over and over and over. Duraludon is going to fire off an Attract, though, but it doesn't affect the opposing shiny Dragapult there. Same gender. There's the Aqua Ring restoring the HP. There's the poison lowering it just that little bit as well, bringing it back down into the danger zone. So we got one Dragapult in the danger zone, one Dragapult with fantastic health, and a Duraludon also in the danger zone there. Shiny Dragapult, though, is geared up and ready, and it's going to go for high horsepower, and surely that's going to be it for round 1. Shiny Duraludon goes down, and Dragapult has taken the first victory. So now we are 1-0. Dragapult in the lead. Duraludon really needs to equalize if it's going to go further in this competition. It's not very often in Metromania, nearly said Form Fight, in Metromania that we see a Steel type really schooled like this. I guess we saw it with Alcremie and Copperajah the other week, but here's an Ice Fang, which is a great first play by Shiny Dragapult there. Going to do a decent chunk of neutral damage there to that regular Duraludon. Now it's over to regular Dragapult, who is going to go for Sand Attack and lower the accuracy by 1 stage of that shiny Duraludon there, which does not bode well for Duraludon in this battle. Already starting at a bit of a disadvantage, even at this 1-0 stage. There's the regular Duraludon going for a Wish, so it's expecting to get its health restored in a turn or so's time. Very optimistic. Shiny Duraludon, what's it going to do as its first move of this round? It's going to go for Rapid Spin, which doesn't affect, it's a normal type move, it doesn't affect the Ghost type Dragapult, so not a great start there by the Duraludon team. They're very much in a difficult place right now, backs against the wall. Regular Dragapult goes for Sucker Punch, that is going to fail. That gives an opportunity to the Duraludon team, though. Shiny Dragapult, what will it do? It's going to go for Stone Edge. Is it going to hit the Stone Edge, though? Stone Edge, not the most accurate move. Does a decent chunk of damage there to that Shiny Duraludon for a not very effective hit. Now it's over to Shiny Duraludon, who is going to go for Aromatherapy, which is going to fail because you've not got any status conditions. But it's nice to be prepared with moves like that. Regular Duraludon going to go for Flame Charge, try and increase its speed. It's going to do some not very effective damage to that Shiny Dragapult there. A bit of chip damage, but does increase its speed by 1 stage, so it will always move before its partner. And there's the wish coming true, restoring the HP of regular Duraludon back up to maximum. Which way will this battle go? I've still got no idea. It's early days yet. Don't ask me questions like that, Liam. I've got no idea. Regular Duraludon going to go for Hyper Beam. Dragapult. I told you I was going to get them mixed up. Dragapult with the Hyper Beam. It's a beautiful animation. Huge damage for a not very effective hit on that regular Duraludon. Not even a crit, just a high roll. That was fantastic. Here's a wish of its own from Shiny Dragapult, so it also wants its HP to be restored on the next turn. Of course, bear in mind, the regular Dragapult will have to recharge next turn. Regular Duraludon is going to go for Howl. Oh, that's a good play right there. So Howl is going to give an increase to the attack stat of both the Duraludon there. That's beautiful. So both Duraludon working with a little bit more physical attack. Shiny Duraludon is going to go for a Dragon Claw. Speaking of physical attacks, that's a super effective stab move. That's huge damage with +1 attack onto Shiny Dragapult, taking it down easily, folding it like paper. That was unbelievable. And bear in mind, the regular Dragapult has to recharge next turn from that Hyper Beam. It's a sitting duck right now. That is brilliant by the Duraludon team. Here we see Dig coming out from, again, +1 attack Duraludon, who is going to be underground, so not going to be able to take a hit this turn. Shiny Duraludon is the only target on the field for Dragapult right now, who's going to go for Flash Cannon. Of course, remember, this turn, Dragapult isn't going to be able to use a move anyway because it's recharged. So it did a decent chunk of damage with that Flash Cannon right there. Now we see a regular Dragapult who finally has the opportunity to move, who is going to go for Endeavor, but didn't go for the right Duraludon, who is going to use Dig as it was hiding underground. Massive damage. Down goes Dragapult. So it's now 1 apiece. That was a critical hit, +1 attack Dig. My word. So now it's 1 apiece. Which way is this going to go? Dragapult back on the field. Duraludon seems to have realized that Dragapult is a very fragile Pokemon. And all you need to do to take down Dragapult is give it a couple of strong hits. It doesn't need to be many. You just need to hit it. Don't worry about lowering stats and clear body and all that. Just hit it. Here's Frost Breath from the Shiny Dragapult, maybe hoping to freeze the Shiny Duraludon there. Huge damage, though. Critical hit on the first turn. Taking more than, well, almost half of Shiny Duraludon's HP. Grass Knot, 4 times resisted, but of course Shiny Duraludon is quite heavy, but it didn't quite do it, did it? Not a lot of damage there at all on Shiny Duraludon, who is going to fire back with a Poison Fang. It loves using poison type moves, doesn't it? On that Shiny Dragapult, is it going to get the poison? It does get the poison once again on that Shiny Dragapult. Shades of the first battle right there. Here comes the regular Duraludon. What's it going to do here? It's going to go for Psycho Shift, but it is going to fail. Shiny Dragapult, of course, taking a little bit of damage from that poison, from the Poison Fang that we just saw. This could go either way. This is for a place in the quarterfinals. Regular Dragapult, what will it do here? It's going to go for Electric Terrain. Bring the Electric Terrain into effect. Not a bad play there. No Pokemon are going to be able to fall asleep while the Electric Terrain is in effect, so do bear that in mind. I believe it reduces the power of certain ground-type moves, but don't quote me. Someone in the comments will remind me. Here's a Flare Blitz, though, which will be neutral damage from the Shiny Dragapult there. Onto Shiny Duraludon. Huge damage, and a little bit of recoil damage right there. That was an incredible play right there. Here comes the regular Duraludon. For its team, going to go for Fire Spin. Now, that's a great play. That's one of those moves that doesn't do much damage. It's not very effective, but it's not about getting the damage on the actual hit. It's about the damage that is done at the end of each turn that is a guaranteed bit of damage. Simple Beam from Shiny Duraludon, which is going to change the regular Dragapult's ability from Clear Body to Simple, which means that Shiny Dragapult's stats can now be lowered by the Duraludon team. So that's not a bad play right there. There's the Poison damage, there's the Fire Spin damage. So the Dragapult team both have some debilitating status that takes damage off them at the end of each turn, which is a position they really don't want to be in. Here's Reflect type from the regular Dragapult. So it's going to become a Steel and Dragon type. after copying the Duraludon typing. Here we see Wild Charge coming out. It's not going to be very effective. It's not going to be very effective, but it is enough to take down Shiny Duraludon. So a decent enough play by Shiny Dragapult there. Not messing about. Takes a tiny bit of recoil damage, but yeah, fair play. Taking a not very effective hit. Of course, I believe that would have been increased in power by the electric terrain. Again, don't quote me. I haven't done my homework on my terrains recently. Decent poison damage on the Shiny Dragapult there, and of course fire spin damage on the regular Dragapult at the end of the turn as well. So Dragapult still in a difficult position. This Duraludon is still at max HP. It's in a great position. Here's a Night Slash from the Shiny Dragapult onto the regular Duraludon there, doing a decent chunk of damage. Didn't get the critical hit that you can get with Night Slash though. That's unfortunate for the Dragapult team. Freeze Dry though is a neutral ice type move from the regular Dragapult for a decent chunk of damage, bringing Duraludon down to less than half its max HP. It needs a miracle right now. It needs to turn this round. Goes for Smart Strike, which is a guaranteed hit. It is a steel type move, so it's not going to do a great deal of damage. Not very effective on Dragapult, but there's the poison damage, doing even more damage there to Shiny Dragapult. It's probably got one turn left in it, and there's the Fire Spin damage, bringing regular Dragapult down to less than half its max HP. So this could really go either way. Either the Dragapult team needs to work a lot harder to take down... Oh, Earth Power, though. Earth Power from the regular Dragapult there. Huge damage, and there you go. I told them they needed to work harder to take down Duraludon, and there you go. They've done it. They've absolutely done it. So Dragapult is going through to the quarterfinals, and yes, this is the best artwork I could find for Dragapult. I'm sorry. For saying Duraludon only has two weaknesses, fighting and ground, Dragapult definitely came in with a game plan, busted out all those ground type moves. I thought in the second round maybe Duraludon had worked out that Dragapult has really rubbish defenses and had realized all I need to do is twat it really hard and I'll be able to go through, but unfortunately Dragapult just had Duraludon's number. I do think it's interesting to take note that both these Pokemon have the typings that have the most advantages in Metromania. Duraludon with the steel typing has all those resistances. Dragapult with the ghost typing has the immunity to the very common normal and fighting type moves. And having that clear body ability, which means that its stats can't be lowered by anyone other than itself, is very interesting and may give Dragapult a little bit of a lead going through this competition. So Dragapult moves on to the quarterfinals, but of course we need to find out its opponent. So tune in next week when Eiscue takes on Hatterene. So that'll do it for another episode of Metromania. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to support the channel like these lovely people down here do, pledge to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/AceTrainerLiam. And of course, to save money on G Fuel, use code ACE. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.